It's been a long and painful journey for the families of the 11 men who died, but today marks a significant step in them getting answers. Some of the families, alongside lawyers representing them, were told that a full inquest will take place within a 6-week period from the 14th of September. The coroner also said that she'll be looking into the fact that people were allowed to stand beside the A27 to watch the air show to see if that had any impact. Now, some of the families requested that the inquest be held in front of a full jury. The coroner dismissed that, though, and said that she would be able to deliver detailed findings of fact and a reasoned conclusion without one. Well, after the hearing, Gerard Falling QC, who represents some of the families, gave us this statement.
We look forward to receiving full and frank disclosure to enable the families to better understand why their loved ones are no longer here. We will continue to work as hard as we can to help the learned coroner in her task to get to the truth of this terrible tragedy.
As I mentioned, there have been several delays in deciding when a full inquest can take place. One of those delays came towards the end of last year when the Air Accident Investigation Branch had to decide whether to reopen its inquiry after the pilot, Andrew Hill, was found not guilty of manslaughter by gross negligence after a jury agreed in court with the argument that he suffered a cognitive impairment behind the plane. The AAIB did not reopen their inquiry. Well, we've also been getting reaction today from East Worthing and Shoreham MP Tim Lawton. Take a listen to this.
She wants to get on with this, and it's really important that since the trial last year didn't come up with a guilty verdict, there are still some unanswered questions about exactly what caused that crash and if anybody is to blame. And that's what the family wants to get to the bottom of, and that's why having this open inquest, which will go on for a long time, will be very detailed, and it needs to be, but it's so important to the families of those victims. That's why we've got to have it before the end of this year.
This inquest then due to start in September, more than 5 years since the disaster.